The definition of recovering from an eating disorder is like riding a two-wheeled bicycle for the first time. Hi, my name is Tommy Kelly. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today is my eating disorder series, and today I want to look upon recovery as possible. So I've written a lot of things down here, so please bear with me, follow me as much as you can. The definition of recovering from an eating disorder is like riding a two-wheeled bicycle for the first time. You can fall at any point, it seriously hurts, and you can actually knock your confidence. But by getting up and back on, you'll show the bicycle who's boss, and finally will know how to ride like any normal kid. And that's exactly what I feel it's all about, actually, guys. That's exactly my definition of recovery. You fall off, you get back on, that's winning every single day. Like I say, recovery is different from each and every person affected by an eating disorder. If you look at the definition for the dictionary for to recover, it says to get rid of something and find something again, to regain one's good health, spirits or composure, to regain a former and usually better condition. So that's the actual definition of recovery. For some people it might mean that they never have another eating disorder thought again, basically. For others it means that although these thoughts are still there, they happen less frequently, and they're able to control them through the coping mechanisms and techniques they've learnt, meaning they no longer have the same impact on your daily life. Like I say, it's important to remember that recovery is hardly ever a straightforward process. Nobody expects you to smoothly walk along the path towards recovery without meeting a few obstacles along your way. But remember, there's always someone or something there to help you to get back to where you were. In this section, basically what I'll cover some questions that are mostly commonly asked about eating disorder recovery, and highlight some of the stories people have shared about their own experiences. Like I say, common questions that's asked about recovery. Is recovery possible? That's the first question people ask. Like I say, you hear stories every day that tell us recovery is possible. Some people believe they will always have to find ways to basically cope with your eating disorder thoughts, but know they can make sure it doesn't affect their behaviour, and others find that basically when they recover they don't have these thoughts. Another question that people ask is, what is the first step to recovery? Like I say, the first step to recovery is talking to someone you can trust. It might be a member of your family, a friend, your teacher, but most importantly somebody you feel comfortable with. Like I say, we know the first steps, it takes bravery, and completely normal to have worries about that. About rejection, maybe people looking at you as being silly, you not being believed, but bottling up your feelings only fuels your eating disorder. The next step might be to see obviously your GP or your practice nurse about treatment for eating disorders as well. The next question frequently asked is, can I recover on my own? Like I say, basically we know it is possible to recover on your own, but using all the help available can certainly help the process. You shouldn't be ashamed of asking for help. It's a brave thing to obviously speak out, but the benefits will outweigh the negatives. Eating disorders are an isolating illness, as you well know. Having a support network around you helps basically to get your way through the loneliness, and the more help you can get, the better it's going to be. It's going to help you recover. The next frequently asked question is, I'm worried about putting on weight. Like I say, this statement is obviously something we hear about an awful lot. People suffering with anorexia or bulimia basically say that they want to get better, but they don't want to put on the weight, and that's something that's a fear in eating disorders. You fear that you're going to constantly gain weight, constantly, but your body's got a set point weight. You may overshoot that weight to start with, but that's very, very important, because a lot of your calories are actually used to help the internal organ repair. So basically you may overshoot because your body knows what's best for you first, but don't worry about that. Your weight will get down to a set point weight once your body trusts that you're going to feed it with the nutrition it needs, and it's going to get constant nutrition. Your body will start to trust you, and your weight will peter back down. Like I say, one part of recovery is that you no longer feel putting on weight is something to be feared, or that by being a low weight you will improve life. If you've been given a diet plan, you won't gain weight too quickly, and you should be helped with thoughts and feelings around gaining weight. Some tips to help obviously diffuse stress might be to take all your clothes that don't fit you to a charity shop or say, and talk to a family member about new ones that you want to get, and get new sizes which you'll feel more confident in. Obviously as well, try not to check yourself in mirrors all the time is another really important factor. Another one is make some little cards you can put all over your house with reasons why you want to recover, like bullet points, and look at them whenever you're feeling really low, and that stress on the reasons why you want to get better, and those will actually fuel your recovery. Another one is definitely to avoid is magazines jam-packed with endless photos of celebrities or articles about the new fad diet and things like that. You don't want any of that, because anything that's going to be triggering your eating disorder recovery, whether that be Instagram apps about food, magazines, online, even family members and friends that fuel your eating disorder. I know it's really, really hard to get rid of those things, but you really need to get rid of any toxic relationship in your life to focus on yourself at first, and then you'll be able to help other people. Like I say, because you've been focused on size for so long, it's obviously difficult to allow your body to develop into the shape that you truly are, as opposed to what your illness is. Like I say, I found it necessary to not know my weight, to keep distracted, and to remember the reasons why I'm obviously gaining weight. Whether that is something as small as being able to sit comfortably, to being able to find stylish clothes that fit you. Basically, another one is obviously feeling hugely fat and disgusted with yourself is another thing that you really don't want to be focusing on. Whereas on a good day you would feel basically confident and happy with the real me coming back. Even if you were heavier, I realised that could be miserable and unsatisfied at my lowest and highest weight. My happiness was nothing more to do with the number on the scale. It is important to remember that there is so much more to life than a weight. Basically, all that your weight tells you is your gravitational pull in this earth. It doesn't tell you how special a person you are, how many people love you, and how much you're respected. Anybody that loves you for the real you won't love you for being any weight, and if they did, well, that's more fool them. They don't deserve you in their life. So basically, as well, what I want to touch upon is how do people cope with recovery. Like I say, everyone is different, so everybody copes differently as well. Talking and expressing your thoughts and feelings can be a really helpful way to cope, whether that is with someone you trust through writing or drawing in a diary, I say. You'll find your own method, but obviously make sure you do find the courage to speak up, in particular when you're finding things really, really hard as well. You don't have to feel that you have to pretend that you're fine. Your support network is there to help you through it, and they'll understand that as well. Obviously as well, another thing that a lot of people feel is you feel silly and embarrassed. Is my eating disorder my fault? Eating disorders are a serious mental illness, like I say. They aren't a matter of choice, and that it certainly isn't your fault. Researchers are still looking into reasons why people develop eating disorders, but obviously we do know that they're more genetically and biologically based than we previously thought, and could be triggered by environment, social pressures, or events that impact your life, such as myself with losing a parent and things like that. Or it could be anything, bullying in your past, abuse, things like that, anything at all. Like I say, it's not a silly thing to ask for help, and you might find it is useful to obviously connect with others going through similar problems to you, whether that be online support or anything like that. You can go online anonymously and speak about that as well. Another thing you feel really about yourself, I'm a failure if I relapse. Like I say, eating disorder recovery is not linear. You're going to have bumps in the road. Like I say, almost everybody that you speak to says that the recovery wasn't a straightforward path. They come up against obstacles and sometimes took a few steps backwards to obviously take one step forward. But the important thing is to remember the coping strategies you've built up and to use them to jump over the barriers they obviously face. Remember that you're always welcome to go online and do things like that. If you're finding things difficult at the moment, you could obviously speak to your doctor. Whether or not you've obviously previously received treatment, you deserve to be supported through a period of relapse, so don't let anybody push you away. Stress how important it is that you want to get recovery, and people will listen. Another thing that's frequently asked, why don't people take my concerns seriously? Like I say, eating disorders can be really difficult for people to obviously understand. They obviously haven't experienced the illnesses themselves. It might obviously be help to look at different things in your library for resources that you can pass on to others to help them understand what obviously you're going through. Direct them to websites, obviously like Be Eat in the UK and things like that, or NEDA, which is National Eating Disorders Association, things like that. Anything that's in your area for more information to basically educate them as well. Like I say, if you feel as though your concerns are obviously not being taken seriously by your doctor or healthcare professional, whoever it obviously works along with you, then you could obviously look at NICE guidelines as well, or speak to an organisation like PALS. So that is NICE and PALS, look them up. Obviously the Citizens Advice Bureau also have information about what you can do if you're unsatisfied with obviously your treatment and things like that. That's roads you can go down as well, so not something I've actually looked into, but I just thought I would share that. Like I say, my top tips for recovery: express your feelings and don't be afraid to ask for help. Sometimes obviously when you hear people find it easier to obviously write their feelings down and to show somebody rather than obviously having to speak out about them as well, so that's something you could do as well. Obviously as well, if you're feeling low, find things that you can do to calm yourself, whether that be take a bath, phone a friend, paint a picture, listen to music, go for a light walk and things like that, write a poem even, or do something, anything that basically works for you to distract yourself away from the behaviours. Another thing is to write down positive qualities about yourself. So write down what's really, really good about you and what basically isn't eating disorder orientated, because you're not defined by your eating disorder. You're a special, special person, and your eating disorder doesn't define you. Like I say, another thing you could do is basically keeping busy after meal times. That is the most important thing. That's one time you want to be distracted as much as you can from any eating disorder behaviours. Like I say, doing any of those activities above that I just mentioned, or basically sitting with a family member, chatting away, watching a movie with them, anything at all. Another thing you can do is thinking about your feelings when you're feeling negative as well as when you're feeling positive. Write a list of both basically. Then when you're feeling like you're struggling, read through these positive thoughts, so that will reinforce why you are wanting to recover and why you shouldn't give in to those behaviours. Like I say, it can obviously be helpful to learn a bit about nutrition and obviously how food fills out the body. You can do that through the British Dietetic Association's food fact sheets as well. That might be helpful information as well, or nutritionfacts.org, which you'll find online as well. Those are both good. So like I say guys, I hope you like this, and please let me know. Like I say, nutritionfacts.org I'll have those links probably listed below here on the video as well, and obviously British Dietetic Association food fact sheets as well. So I hope you like this video guys, and speak to you all soon. Remember guys, binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings. Speak to you all soon and love you so much.